he moved. Truex on the outside, contact made. 56 slides it at a 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Did even give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Welcome everybody to the Dynasty Racing League on DRL TV. My name's Ryan Branch alongside Martin Wenzel, and tonight we are at Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the Auto Club 200. This is the DRL Cup Series, highest level of competition here in the Dynasty Racing League, and Martin, a whole new package for the race this evening. It should be a good one, man.
Yeah, I've got the rules package pulled up here from NASCAR. That's what being displayed out there right now. I believe they're using a 0.922-inch tapered spacer fitted to all the cars. That will reduce the horsepower from 750 to a target goal of 550. And with the aero ducts, I think that will also foster tighter racing. And we've seen that this week. I did the NIS and I did an A car race, that being the Cup car, and yeah, the racing was pretty tight. You know, that lead group, maybe the first top 5 cars can kind of separate, and the rest of the field are battling. You're gaining 3 positions one lap, losing 4 the next. 3 wide into the corners. Gets pretty exciting. Hopefully these guys can handle the car and keep it off each other and not bring out too many yellows.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be pack racing, much more than it was in the past, where Auto Club last year, I think we just saw everything really, really string out, and I believe it was Eric Wolf that ran away with that race last year, so it should be good. I can't wait. See how this new package operates. I know some guys are really excited for it, other guys are completely indifferent, and there's some guys that are just downright angry, so we'll see how it plays out in the first race here in this new package tonight.
Yeah, it does take away a little bit of the skill of having to nail the lanes perfectly. You do still need to get it down and make sure you stay off that outside wall, but it's much easier. It's not as tight. Definitely tomorrow night with the Grand National Series, we're going to see guys coasting into that outside wall coming out of the turns, and that's going to cause a few yellows tomorrow night. But tonight, I think the yellows are going to come out because simply pack racing. You're going to have cars right on top of each other. You're going to have guys getting a better run off the corner, and another guy a little bit slower, and they're just going to get into each other.
Well, for the majority of practice, we had Hunter Johnson on, or for the majority of qualifying, majority of practice, Hunter Johnson was in the lead with the best lap during practice, and then a majority of the qualifying session, Mike Springer had the pole. Now Mike Springer moves into fourth. Jim Westerfield's going to capture the pole here. John Theodore will sit third. And who got second right there at the very end? Somebody captured second place right at the end of that one. So Sean Hughes posting up a good time. He's been very good all year. We will go down to the track and try to grab Jim Westerfield and wish him the best of luck on his first pole here in the DRL.
Yeah, Jim Westerfield pretty well this year in the Cup Series. He's right now 5th in points. So he's having a good season.
You got a copy, sir?
Yes, sir.
Hey, first pole position here in the Dynasty Racing League, man. You feeling good about this one?
Yeah, the car feels great. Got a good long run car to top it off, so it should be a good one.
Hey, if you can keep it nice on the long runs, and you can still grab a pole position, nothing to complain about there, right?
Absolutely, and I got a good time on taking the qualifying lap. It cooled down real quick there, so I got lucky on that.
Well, best of luck out there tonight, man. Go out there and get them.
Thank you.
So Westerfield feeling very comfortable in the long run, he said, even though he's able to post a pole position. So great work by him. We're going to go down to the track now and see all these beautiful cars. Oh, Martin, this is going to be a good race. Who's that? John Theodore there sitting in the third position on the inside. Mike Springer in that Funyuns car on the outside. Just behind him, Chad Presnall and his buddy Wade Hustad on the inside line. So some familiar faces up there, but some new guys as well. Both Sean Hughes and Jim Westerfield in their first season here in the Cup Series. So coming out here with something to prove. And
yeah, I go back to that. What is that? Probably the fourth row. Fourth row would be Tommy Bordeaux, and then Taylor Butcher Benjamin qualifying 8th. So we got some guys that we usually don't see up in this part of the field. Jim Westerfield on the pole, and then Taylor Butcher Benjamin. A couple of different guys in the top 10 qualifying. Everyone else in the top 10 have been up there. Guys we expect to be up there, but Jim Westerfield capturing the pole. Taylor Butcher Benjamin getting a good start with the number 8 car in the 8th position. Looking a little bit further back, Matt Lovett is going to be starting in 11th. He's coming up. He's currently 3rd in the Grand National Series standings. He's coming up to do a race here. And in 12th, on the outside of him, is Mike Lemon, also from the Grand National Series. I think he's 5th place in that series. So those are our 2 non-point guys running today. Matt Lovett and Mike Lemon.
As we go through the starting grid here, like you said, Tommy Bordeaux just inside of Taylor Butcher Benjamin, then Harmon, Eli Hitton, 9th and 10th. Got Matt Lovett 11th, Mike Lemon 12th. Guys you were just talking about. Chris Pope starts 13th, Kevin Varnador 14th in that number 63 machine. Logan McCannley in the 15th spot, Eric Hutton 16th. Hunter Johnson, again, who was very fast in practice, he sits 17th. Chris James 18th. Alexander Russell will start in the 19th spot. Dustin Musial 20th. Richard Lucky 21st, right next to, I believe, brother, right? Chris Lucky, yep. 22nd. Joseph Helt starts 23rd, and Caden Honeycutt in 24th. So I don't know if Honeycutt and Helt didn't get a chance to qualify or what there. But
yeah,
normally see those guys up towards the front.
Yeah, and then Harry Tiller 25th, and Mullins is in the pits right now, 26th, so I don't know what's going on with him. But Tiller hit the wall both times, so he'll be fine. I don't know about Honeycutt and Helt if they're going to get a drive-through or not.
Oh, we are green as Jim Westerfield is going to take off quick here. Mullins and Chris James starting on pit road.
Yeah, Honeycutt's going to have to come down, drive through.
Man, it just seems like the speed with which they took off was so slow there at the beginning compared to what we're used to seeing.
Yeah, and something we're going to have to watch, and Race Control's going to have to watch, is guys getting a run, laying back just a little bit, and then just firing off and going right along the wall there. That happened quite a few times.
Well, you can see these guys 3 wide already. Some of them debating whether to take it 4 wide here at Auto Club. So this should create some really, really cool pack racing as we progress here. But Thomas Harmon now stuck there in the middle. The 13 is Sean Hughes trying to drop down in front of him. Harmon not giving him too much room. Looks like he wants to make it 4 wide almost. So
yeah, I was surprised with the pack racing right now on the leader group there, because usually that top 3 can kind of separate really quickly. And right now it's 3 wide battling for 4th. Man, Chad Presnell he had his bumper underneath Hustad's car there.
Yeah, Hustad really already able to come around Presnell as they now go 4 wide. John Theodore gets loose in the center.
Yeah, Theodore's falling back, and that's what's going to happen is he's going to start falling back, and everyone's just going to go around him like a river, and if you get stuck behind him, you can't really jump out because the other guys are going to have the speed.
Yeah, Chad Presnell gets stuck behind him in that 55 car. That's going to push both of those guys back. Theodore falls all the way back to 11th. Gotta admit, it's pretty cool the first time we have this new package to be on a track like this. Auto Club, just really, really wide, fairly flat track. It gives these guys a lot of room to run. There's multiple racing grooves. Obviously, until you get out and you start going single file, but this is what the race is going to look like for the majority of it. 2 and 3 wide racing the whole way.
There's definitely enough room to go. I mean, you can see the what is it, the creases there, and there's 5 lanes, so there's room for guys to go 5 wide here if they really want to push the issue. We saw 4 so far.
You got the 23 here of Eli Hinton trying to come around the 32 of Hustad. Unable to do so far, but he's got that draft of the 68 in front of him. So, but Harmon
starting
pulls
to get
up
a little
the track.
single file here, actually.
Yeah, they are stringing out a little bit, but again, everybody's going to be able to stay within striking distance, and the draft is really going to allow you to slingshot around the other drivers that are on the track. You know, not quite in the sense of a Talladega or a Daytona, but very similar.
Yeah, and it's not the end of the world if you don't have the draft. It's not Daytona or Talladega where you need to be on the guy's bumper the whole time, otherwise you're going back 15 spots and you're done. But it's definitely a helper. It's something you can use to catch back up, really tighten those gaps.
Well, Sean Hughes able to get around Westerfield. He is going to lead the race for now. Westerfield able to get a couple laps led under his belt, so he's going to collect some bonus points there. Thomas Harmon has Wade Hustad all over the rear end of his car. And Eli Hinton pushing very hard just behind them. Got the 78 there of Eric Hutton in that beautiful Chick-fil-A car, and the 78. He sits 6th. Logan McAnally all the way up into the 7th position now, so good job by him so far, moving forward. And we got movers forward and backward, Martin, as Chad Presnell sits 11th, John Theodore in the 10th spot. Those guys started both inside the top 5, I believe, so.
Well, we saw Theodore drop from 3rd to 10th, but Mike Springer started 4th. He's all the way back in 22nd. So I'm not sure what happened to him, if he just was involved in that whole John Theodore kind of plummeting and just got caught in the wrong line.
Yeah, I think he was just stuck behind the 27 for an extended period of time and unable to really get around him safely. So we've got a long race ahead of us. We're only 7 laps in out of 100. There are 200, or I'm sorry, this is a 200-mile race, 100 laps here tonight. So a lot of things can happen between now and then. Hopefully we go green for the majority of it. Maybe get a green flag pit stop and see how some of these guys work together. As I know there's new guys moving in and out of certain teams, and You never really know from week to week who's on S2R and who isn't. Those guys seem to be adding people every other week, so. And I think they're an open racing team, so they let guys come in and practice with them. And, you know, if you run with them all week, they like to run with you during the race as well. So kind of work together and make green flag pit stops worth your while. It's Thomas Harmon now is going to try to come around the 4 here of Jim Westerfield.
Yeah, and every week we have to look at who's not out there racing, and big name not out there today is Anthony Burrows. I believe he's won the last 2 races.
Yeah, he did have 2 in a row there. Feeling okay about himself. He obviously will make it into the playoffs so long as he finishes 80% of the races this season. But, you know, you miss one here and there and they catch up on you quick. I think I did it last year during the truck season. All of a sudden I was in a show up or you're out scenario. And I don't think I ended up making the playoffs anyway because I had lost too many points by being out for the period of time I was gone. So one thing that will be interesting too with this new package tonight is just passing one another. You know, I mentioned being able to slingshot around the other car if you get a good enough run with their draft. Well, if you're too wide and you don't have a car go with you and that car pulls up behind the guy that you're trying to go around, well, you might just be left in the dust, as we're now seeing with Thomas Harmon. He tries to get down there underneath the number 4, and Wade Hustad makes the easy pass just by following the 4 around the track. So. Guys, so long as we are green flag racing here, we're going to go down to the track real quick and crank up the noise a little bit for you guys. Let you experience what it's like from trackside. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed a little bit of the good old sounds of iRacing. Some intense racing going on down there. You guys saw Chad Presnall has moved his way back up to 7th after falling back early behind the likes of John Theodore. So got Sean Hughes in the lead. Wade Hustad now in 2nd place. Thomas Harmon in 3rd. Eli Hinton runs 4th. Logan McAnally is running in the 5th spot. Eric Hutton in 6th. 7th is Chad Presnall. 8th, John Theodore. And then that 4-car of Jim Westerfield, who was on the pole, said he had a good long-run vehicle, or at least he felt that way. He runs in the 9th position right there, so for right now, so some early trouble for the number 4. Martin, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm just looking for Tommy Bordeaux. Bordeaux during that little sound session we were giving everyone. I'm hoping I'm not going to lose the race here, maybe. Yeah, looks like I'm going to lose it. Oh, it's coming. Tommy Bordeaux, he actually caught the wall and went through the grass probably 2-3 laps ago now. So he's back into 19th. And right in front of him is Taylor Butcher Benjamin, who started 8th. He's down in 18th. So got a few guys going backwards through the field. Mike Springer, who started 4th, had dropped all the way back into the, I think, 23rd, 22nd. He's climbing his way back. He's back to 16th.
You got a couple of these S2R guys making their way around the 13 here is Sean Hughes. He's also S2R racing, but Wade Hustad pushed by Thomas Harmon on that inside line, trying to overtake the lead. Unable to make it happen fully, as now Sean Hughes is back up front. Wade Hustad pushing up the track pretty hard, gets very close to his teammate in the 68 there. And the 88's able to make the pass. So now Logan McAnally, who, how far back did he begin this race? I mean, he's moved through the field.
Yeah,
he's going to go around the 13. So the 88 is just cruising right now. We'll see if he's able to hold on to it with that clean air, but great job by Logan to move through the field like he has. "21 out of 100 laps currently." We're going to see what the pit strategy is as we come a little closer to 30 laps. I imagine we will expect a 2 pit stop strategy from a majority of the drivers out here tonight, but you might see some of them try to go for the 1 stop thing. I don't know how this car is doing this week with all of that, so we'll see.
Yeah, tire wear isn't huge, but I can't speak to that too well because so far, you know, official races a lot more yellows. Here, I mean, they've gone 22 laps, nice and clean. And upholding the Cup name, DRL Cup Series name, just driving very clean, very competitive. Logan McAnally, he looked like he was going to lose that position to Sean Hughes. He's now pulled away.
Yeah, and Sean
about
Hughes,
3/10 on the rest of them.
Yeah, Hughes kind of made it 3 wide there, fell back a little bit. The 78 was in that outside line, 3 wide with him and Wade Hustad, so now Hustad's around the 13, and this is where the drafting comes in. As you can see, the 13 just pushing the 32 down that straightaway. They will eventually catch up to the back of this 88 car, but Logan McAnally is really driving the wheels off the car right now, showing the rest of these guys how it's done. If I can pull up his current driver information. Get good old ATVO being a little slow on me right now. You can see there, he started in the 15th spot. He currently runs first. He already has a lap led, so now he'll be shooting for that next goal of most laps led. 44.96 iRating, so he's one of the higher rated guys in the league.
Oh, Kevin Varnador into the inside wall. He's going to hit the wall hard. And he might be done because he hit the wall hard. Probably going to have engine damage. No yellow flag. He went down into that wide area on the backstretch, hit the wall. Go
Varnador.
back and see what happened here.
I don't even see him on my timing sheet at the moment. It's going to be tough to bring that to everybody as I am having some wonderful lag issues.
Yeah, I'll try to see. Just get a description of what happened here, though. Kinda. Yeah, just got too close to the 69 of Harry Tiller. Got bumped then from behind by Hunter Johnson when he lost a little bit of speed. And that sent him into the inside wall.
See if we'll go back here and catch Mr. Varnador. Going back a couple minutes here. Watch that 63 car on the inside line.
But
see exactly what it is that happens to him.
Yeah, but they were right on top of each other, so... And he was kind of wiggling a little bit. Hanging on that white line.
See the 63 here, right next to the 69. Racing very close to one another. 69 giving him no room whatsoever. Harry Tiller really holding him down the track there with how wide it is. See if we can see exactly what happens to Mr. Varnador here in just a moment. Might have went a little too far back in the replay, but looks like he gets a great run to the inside, and he clips the apron just barely with his left front tire, and that's where everything goes awry. So unable to hold on to the car, he gets tapped in the back, sent directly into that inside wall, as you said, Martin. So unfortunate there for him.
He's going to step out of the car. His day is done. Probably has significant engine damage that would put him down. By the time he gets back out there, be down probably 30 laps.
Yeah, I mean, you consider how fast this track is. It's not going to be, you know, even if he gets back out on the track, as green and clean as these guys are running, not really going to be able to make up many positions. So, kind of just decides to give up on it for now. Sure, we'll see him back next week. He is a competitor. He gets out here and runs with these guys every week. Does his very best. Unfortunate set of circumstances there. Just barely clipping the apron. That really just goes to show like what the tiniest little thing can do to your entire race. So.
Yep. Watching the battle for second, Hustad's just slipped right past Sean Hughes. He's in second. Now it's a battle between Eric Hutton and Hughes for that third position.
Yeah, see, I'm looking right now still in replay mode of Hughes in front of Hustad. So as we're gonna try to jump back to live here again, having a little bit of a lag issue, guys. I apologize for that, but now you see the 78 of Hutton is around him, the 32 there of Hustad is around him, and now Thomas Harmon in the 68 looking to make a move as well as he goes to the inside of the 23 of Eli Hinton.
Yeah,
and
Harmon caught the wall.
Logan McAnally still just blazing out there in first place. I really didn't think someone would be able to pull away in this race tonight, and Logan McAnally to come from 15th and to be out there running, you know, a half a second in front of Hustad is impressive.
Well, I know some guys say that this new package takes away some of the skill level needed to drive the track, and I think it does make it a little easier, but to pull away and to gain positions and be the fastest car out there, you still need to hit the right line, get the best run out of the corners.
Well, yeah, it lets you race against the other drivers more and not have to spend your entire night trying to fight the car in the track, you know. So.
Yeah, and that's gonna be the story of tomorrow night. Is gonna be guys fighting the wall and trying to stay off that outside wall. Watch Hustad come out of this turn. You're able to get up against the wall. Not a big deal.
On our first set of green flag pit stops. Whoa! The 38 spins the car completely out, smashes the inside wall there, getting very, very loose, unable to slow down in time. So you got Sean Hughes, Eric Hutton, Eli Hinton, and the 27 of John Theodore all coming down pit road together. It looks like Mike Springer back there, the 38 who sent himself wickedly sideways.
Yeah, I don't think he was planning on coming. I don't think he was planning on coming in, and then he decided to come in. He just decided to come in way too late. He was.
Well, you got Christopher Pope in that 7 car, too. He must be towards the back of the field. He pulled down pit road as well, as I'm still following along with Hughes here.
Yeah, he didn't pull in. He didn't start pulling down until right where basically the road starts. He
So
didn't even pull down where the dashed lines.
He was able to get off pit road first, followed by Eli Hinton at 23. The 78 follows him. That's Eric Hutton. John Theodore lagging a bit behind those guys, so maybe not the greatest entrance. Had some issues getting into the pit box, but that timer does not actually start until they stop and begin getting the pit repairs. Mike Lemon now on pit road for 43 seconds, so costing himself dearly by sliding out and trying to slow down in time. Maybe it would have been better just to take the 15-second penalty.
Yeah, Theodore overshot his box. It took him a few rocking back and forth to get into position to start
Whoa!
that.
The 13 there of Sean Hughes slides way up the track right in front of Eric Hutton. So now Eli Hinton looking to take the position. And that's another thing that's going to get interesting, guys, here is as we have these green flag pit stops, it's not like it is in the past or like it is at other tracks. These guys are going to be able to get back out here and catch the draft of the cars in front of them and kind of make up some time. So I think it almost pays to pit early. If you're going to be that guy who decides to pit later, you're going to need to get lucky and have a caution flag come out. That's how I feel about
Thomas
it.
Harmon, Joe Helt way too fast, and he goes into the grass. And he's actually just going to go right back onto the track. So Helt was trying to come in, he called it out, and he just never slowed down. He's going 100, he's speeding up, almost runs into Harmon, going into pit road, just goes through the grass on the front stretch, back onto the track. So he's going to lose a lot of positions.
Watching all this go down on instant replay right now, Martin, as Joseph Helt tried to follow Harmon off onto the pits, and big failure by him. So
well, he was slowing down, and then he sped up. He was down to 150, and then he actually sped up, and then there's pit road, and started slowing down again. And it was kind of strange because he knew he was pitting. He had planned on pitting, and I don't know what happened there.
So Wade Hustad's crew with a really slow time there, 15.25. It takes him to get out of his pit box. Tim Westerfield, 14.98. Richard Lucky with a 14.55. So everybody fairly consistent there, somewhere between 14.5 to 15 seconds on pit road. But, I mean, the story so far of the night, Logan McAnally still out here running in the first position. Chris Lucky now hoping that Logan decides to come down pit road so he can get himself a lap led, as Chris Lucky started towards the very end of this field when the race began, as did Caden Honeycutt, who rides third. Those guys all out there for about 35, 36 laps now since the very beginning of the race. We've yet to have a caution flag fly. Things so far staying clean after those green flag cycles. So
yeah, and so our guys that went down, we have 3 guys on the lead lap that have pit, right? That's Sean Hughes, Hinton, and Hutton. And they're 40 seconds back. They're just in front of Logan McAnally. So Lucky, Presnall, McAnally, Honeycutt, James, and Helt still have to pit. Helt coasted through the grass after missing the pit road. Oh, no, I think he did pit, actually. He's now down a lap. So I think Chris James and Honeycutt haven't pit yet, right?
yeah, we still have Chris James out there, Caden Honeycutt out there.
And Lucky and McAnally.
Yep.
So Sean Hughes is 7 seconds behind Chris James, and he will be your new leader once those 4 cars in front of him pit. Wade Hustad and Matt Lovett getting back onto the lead lap. Thomas Harmon also getting his lap back.
Well, if you look at the fall off so far, the best lap they've ran, or that McAnally's ran, has been a 40.647. His last lap was a 42.717. So only about a 2-second fall off on a 42-second track. I mean, I almost feel like now that they're at the 38 lap point, these 4 guys are just going to run it out to 50. I don't know if they have the fuel for all of that, but possibly just going to run it out to 50 and go with the one-stop race.
Yeah, last night in the NIS there was some fuel issues for some guys. That surprised me because they said they'd pit every time the yellow came out. Well, I pit the last time a yellow came out, and I had no fuel problems, so it was really weird. A few guys ran out of fuel. So it might be an issue. Maybe has something to do with the package and drafting. I don't know, but
you know, see all these cars that are just now coming around the 88 here. They have an entire lap to make up, so they're just now getting their lap back. That 12 of Mike Springer. Who's that? Harry Tiller, Jim Westerfield. Soon the 38, the 27 of Theodore are going to go around him. So.
Yeah, I think everyone who pit so far, they're going for a two-pit strategy. Break this race into thirds, because it wasn't a fuel issue for them. I think fuel, you can go about 40, 40, maybe even 50.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. If you can only go 40, then it's a big mistake for these guys to be out as long as they have, and that's exactly what we have. Oh, man.
He almost lost it there.
Yeah, locks the tires up, gets the car a little bit sideways, but he's going to get down pit road safely. And Chris Lucky, again, who started towards the very tail end of this field, is going to get himself a lap led. So that's a bonus point for the 77 of Lucky.
Yeah, I'm sure Caden Honeycutt's hoping for the same thing. He started 24th, and he's going to be waiting for, I think he's going to wait for Chris Lucky to go down pit road, and then he'll lead a lap. And probably Chris James, the same idea. He's just going to wait until Lucky and Honeycutt get off the track, lead his lap, then get in as soon as possible. I don't think any of those... Well, looks like Chris James is actually... Oh, no, he's still out there. He's just getting passed. Getting passed by those guys who initially went in. I mean, Eli Hinton, Eric Hutton, Sean Hughes.
Yeah, so Chris James now falling back already.
And Honeycutt has already gone down pit road, so Honeycutt did not even stay out to try to lead that lap. He knew he didn't have time.
Chris Lucky, the one that's spending the time out there. He was a lot further through the field when that whole pit cycle began, though, unlike Chris James and Honeycutt were. So Chris Lucky's still sitting about 20 seconds in front of second place. That's the 23 of Eli Hinton. Obviously, that's not enough time to come down and get a pit and get back out on the racetrack, but these drivers that are sitting second, third, and fourth already have 11 laps on their tires. So Chris Lucky's going to have a big advantage towards the end of this race. I don't know. He almost looking like he's trying to push it to lap 50 here. As we're now 42 out of 100, so I just don't know what the fuel run is like for these guys. Eli hitting Frank.
All right.
Guys, hopefully the stream is back online at this point. Loading into iRacing right now. I don't know. Had some major internet issue / PEC issue. Don't know. Tried to renew the IP lease and see if it worked. As some items were still working, some were not. Luckily, we have yet to have a caution flag fly. So we're still green flag racing. And I'm going to get you back down to the action. Again, sorry for problem before. You see the 32 of Wade Hustad still there in the first position. Eric Hutton runs in second. Trying to get everything pulled up for you guys here. And I'm just going to pull up the green flag. It's going to show that it's just now green flag for just a minute, and then it'll go back to being looking regular. Back to the grayscale look, but Wade Hustad in the 32 runs in first. Eric Hutton there runs second. Eli Hinton in the 23 car runs in the third spot. Sean Hughes in fourth. Thomas Harmon runs in fifth in that 68, and Matt Lovett now up into the sixth spot in the 14. So after that whole pit cycle, the green flag pit cycle, we now have where did they end up? Those last two to pit. You had Chris James in that 82 car. He runs back in 23rd.
Who were last two? Chris Lucky. Chris Lucky, he's back in 18th. And Logan Mac, it's Mac Annally, as I think probably his spotter looks like probably his spotter told us in the chat. Logan McAnally. He comes back out. He's back in 7th, right behind that group of guys that had pit quite a while before him, actually. So he didn't lose a ton there, and he's actually gaining back on them. The guys all in front of him have probably 10-lap older tires at this point.
You guys having issues with the quality on YouTube? Everything seems fine on my end now, so maybe a refresh on your part. Hopefully the quality's not bad now. Might have to re-upgrade it back to 720p, as everything is being sent at the right speed and everything. So, again, I'm sorry for that. I don't know. I only lost half of my internet, as I could still hear Discord, I could still see the race, I could still go on YouTube, but certain websites wouldn't work, and OBS decided to just drop the stream altogether. So.
Well, it happens. It happens to the guy. It happens to the. It happens to the professionals as well. So.
Yeah, I can remember, watching news channels, and all of a sudden it goes to the
news.
What is it? The color hue yep. screen that just like sits there and shows.
You watch that, or you watch. You watch Fox Sports, NFL, or anything. I mean, anything is like they always have. There's always a time when there's technical difficulty, and they have a whole truck out there full of people and producers and technical people, and
yeah, all I have is me.
We've got one guy on a computer, So.
Look at this, 3-wide racing back here, starting with the 23 of Eli Hinton in the center. The 88 of Logan McAnally is once again
blows by.
I mean,
in the third.
I gotta think, Martin. Right now, he sits 1.5 seconds back at the 32 of Wade Hustad, and he is flying. I mean, he's on much fresher tires than Hustad is. Unfortunately, because of the reset of my PC, I now don't know exactly how many laps ahead he is of Hustad, but I think he's about 12 or 13 laps ahead of the 32. Like so.
Well, like 5 laps ago, as soon as you started coming back on the stream, he was about 4 seconds back, and he's just been gaining. So
yeah, that 88 car very comfortable on the older tires, felt no effects, and we'll see. I mean, if he right after he pulls ahead of Hustad, if we hit that lap 65 to 70 mark, he could pit at the same time as those guys this time and just run away with the race. But I think if he waits too long, he's going to be in trouble, because if you remember, Hustad came down pit road at about lap 31. And now it's been 29 laps since, and McAnally's not ahead of him yet. So he really has to play that out in his mind and say, how many laps do we need to catch up to Hustad? Otherwise, he needs to pit at the same time as Hustad or the lap after in order to make that time up before the end of the race.
Well, he's right there on Hutton. I think he's going to take Hutton this next turn.
Yeah, easy pass on the 78 of Hutton here. McAnally comes around him without issue. See if he's able to keep the run down the straightaway, and he is. As he takes the apron. I don't know, Hutton with a good run off of that corner going down the straightaway, but McAnally I think is still going to be able to take it away. And he does. Now it's just him and the 32 of Wade Hustad. He's got some time to make up, but as I said, he was about a second and a half back 3 laps ago. He now sits only 0.8 seconds back of Wade Hustad. So making up 3/4 of a second in just 3 laps time.
Yeah, that last lap he was 0.2 of a second faster, almost 2.5 tenths of a second faster than Hustad. And that one only a 10th faster that lap, so slowing down a little bit, but still shaving off enough time.
He's still on much fresher tires than that 32 at Hustad is, so I know he will continue to make up time. Go back and see what some of our early leaders did. Jim Westerfield, who was our pole sitter tonight in that number 4 car, he runs in the 8th spot. He actually has quite the gap on the leaders, so the top 7 all within 3 seconds of the lead. Jim Westerfield was the first car, first car back from them, and he's about 7 seconds back of the leader. So it goes Jim Westerfield, then Harry Tiller in that 69 car. Richard Lucky moved up through the field quite well so far this evening. You see there he started 21st. He currently sits in the 10th spot with a pack of cars behind him as Chris James goes to the inside in that 82. And then you have John Theodore running in the 11th position. Mike Springer runs in 12th. And Hunter Johnson, again, who was very, very fast during practice, surprising, unable to make much of this race so far tonight, runs in the 13th spot after starting 17th. Couple surprises. Joseph Helt in the 14th position. I know he didn't get the greatest start, but a very fast driver here in the Dynasty Racing League. And then that 55 car of Chad Presnall, who very, very early in the race got kind of stuck behind John Theodore in a almost collision and hasn't really been able to make up the time ever since. So started in the 6th spot. He runs 15th right now, possibly 14th as he tries to make the move around the O2.
Yeah, we got a grouping of cars. You know, we got Theodore and Springer. They started 3rd and 4th. They're back to 11th and 12th. You got Presnall and Butcher Benjamin right there, and Tommy Bordeaux, 6th, 8th, and 7th, and they're running 15th, 16th, 17th now. So a lot of movement.
I don't know, just a really strange race for the DRL. So you got some of these new guys up front, which again isn't unexpected as we add great talent week in and week out. But guys like Caden Honeycutt, I mean, this guy runs in the ARCA series in NASCAR. He does well here every week, sometimes getting a little over aggressive, but he runs in the 19th position and doesn't look like he's able to really catch these guys up towards the front. So 37 struggling tonight. Tommy Bordeaux, who we know is a great road racer, has struggled at both of his oval races so far this season. So he runs in the 17th position. And then, like I was mentioning before, Joseph Helt, Chad Presnall, Hunter Johnson, who did so well in practice, John Theodore, Mike Springer, they sit just outside the top 10, but that's not a finishes that we normally expect from guys like that.
So Taylor Butcher Benjamin is going to be the first car to come down for a green flag stop here on lap 65 going into 66. No one comes with him.
Well, Martin, while you were saying all of that, McAnally is back in the lead, so we do have a new leader once again. Looks like he is poised to lead the most laps here tonight if things continue the way they run right now, but we are 66 laps clean and green as Wade Hustad comes down to take his pit stop.
I was just going to say, McAnally there, that gap was just growing so fast, but then...
Yeah, Hustad was on the brakes.
Go into the pits.
Good call, Martin.
So,
good call.
Yeah, I was thinking, wow, McAnally's got a really good car. I mean, he was spreading that gap anyway, but...
See, again, so here's where I think he makes a mistake if he does not come down pit road very quickly, because after the last green flag cycle, it took him 33 laps to catch up to Wade Hustad. How many laps are left in the race? 33. He can't afford to stay out there for that 40-lap stint like he did the last time. Yeah, so I think about he's 5 laps from now, 5 laps from now, he needs to come down pit road. He can't afford to stay out there for the extra 10 like he did the last time. Obviously, he is in a very good position to go out and win this race, however, as he clearly has the fastest car, able to make up a ton of ground. He just has to give himself enough time to do it. Make that pit stop at the right moment, and hope that the late race caution doesn't come out and, you know what I mean, completely mess up his position. So almost every car coming down pit road now. Obviously, I don't have the numbers, unfortunately, because of the reset we had earlier, but McAnally, Hinton, Hughes, Westerfield, Lucky, and Honeycutt, the only guys so far who have not pit.
Yeah, and Hinton and Hughes were part of that first group to pit on that first green flag stop, so they're kind of staying out a little bit longer here. As Thomas Harmon's going to try to squeeze through. Harmon's going to have to hit the brakes there, as that nowhere really for him to go. Now they're going to move out of his way, go high, and Harmon's going to be able to squeeze through. Well, yeah, you can already see Wade Hustad coming up on McAnally fast to get his lap back.
Yeah, again, I think McAnally's fine. He just needs to, don't wait the 10 laps this time later. Make it 5 laps later and start to make up that gap a little quicker.
Yeah, I think come in probably this lap or the next one. I mean, Hustad's already passed you now, so now he's making up the time. If you come in now, I think he'd come out and be right there with Hustad, wouldn't he? If he were to come in right now.
If he came in right, yeah, if he came in right now, he'd be right out there with Hustad. But
yeah, that's what he's gonna do.
Yeah,
and that's what he's gonna do.
It's almost right now. I think the earlier he pits, the better, because if that late race caution does come out, it can really, really screw him, because it's gonna put him back in 5th or 6th, and he's not gonna want to stay out if the leader goes down, and he's not gonna want to go down if the leader stays out. So he's gonna have to follow what the leader does, and it's just gonna put him in a worse position than he would be otherwise, no matter what. No matter how it went after this. So coming down now, getting the pit stop, and
now it's going to hurt him a little bit there because he slid a little bit too far in his box, had to back up, get in the proper position. So
well, hopefully he didn't have to do the left right thing.
Nope, just had to slide back a little bit.
Well, it's a nice quick pit stop there by the pit crew, 14.8, but as he just pulls off pit road, he is going to have some ground to make up on the 32 of Wade Hustad. And we all know how good Hustad is.
There goes Harmon, and Hinton's going to get past him also before he gets up to speed.
Oh, he's got 28 laps to do it, Martin. And I think that's going to be the majority of the fun tonight, seeing what he can do.
Yeah, so McAnally is going to come back out in 4th, right? Well, he'll be 4th once this whole cycle. I think this whole cycle.
Yeah, it'll be Wade Hustad in 1st, followed by Thomas Harmon, Eric Hutton, and Logan McAnally. So,
and then Sean Hughes is right behind him, battling with Eli Hinton. Hinton's actually in the lead right now, so he's gonna have to go down and pit.
Yeah, all I'm worried about is that mistake on pit road now. Wade Hustad only has 5 or 6 laps on the tires, so McAnally doesn't have that much of a tire advantage like he did the last time. However, he has been quicker throughout the race than Wade Hustad, so see how much time he's actually able to make up here. I don't know, he sits right now.
Alright, so the leader is down pit road, Eli Hinton.
He sits about 6 seconds back of Wade Hustad. That's a lot of time to make up in just 27 laps. Chris Lucky, once again, he's going to be that guy that stays out. He's going to try to pray for the caution to come. Run those tires ragged and see what happens, but didn't work out the last time. As the racing's been so far tonight, I don't expect it to work out this time, but you never know, Martin. That's the best part about racing in the Dynasty Racing League, is you can see clean racing for an entire 100 laps, and then you can see the, 8 cautions in 10 laps, so.
And there's a caution.
And there it is.
So
Chris Lucky is very lucky. I mean, him and Caden Honeycutt. Yeah. I mean, Honeycutt couldn't have asked. Honeycutt couldn't have asked for better than that. I mean, Honeycutt started in the rear of the field. I talked about him earlier. This hasn't been his track so far. We know he's fast. Is he fast enough to go out and get a win at Auto Club? I don't know about that, but guess what? He just finds himself in an excellent position, as I expect the 32 of Wade Hustad to follow these 2 leaders down pit road. And Logan McAnally, I think he's kind of appreciating that caution too after the slight slip up on pit road.
Yeah, this is going to reset everything. And
Martin, were you able to catch where that caution came in?
I'm looking for it. Let's see. It looks...
Let me guess. A debris caution. We had a water bottle on the track, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm wait. Oh, there it is. All right, it was Jim Westerfield and Hunter Johnson getting into each other. Just Johnson coming down too far Jim Westerfield was already into the corner.
Oh, those two guys have to be really feeling it now. Hunter Johnson, the fastest in practice. Jim Westerfield, our pole sitter for this evening. That can't feel good. Oh, that 7 car is going to come down pit road early.
Wow, we just had go back to pit road there. Everyone just kind of runs into each other. Hustad just closed that gap too quick. He hits his brakes. That accordion affects everyone. Harmon, Hutton and McAnally right next to each other trying to go down pit road. This is going to... Oh, man. Looks like they all get into their boxes, okay?
I'm trying to catch this from the entrance of pit road here. You see the 77 stack up. Wade Hustad goes to the outside and then pulls back to the inside. Everybody trying to avoid each other. Yeah, so those top 6 guys all over one another there.
Yeah, Hustad just sped up there to catch up to the rear end of, what is that, the 37 Honeycutt? And then he realized, oh no, I'm speeding. So I guess he wanted to close that gap and then ended up causing more of a gap in the end.
Oh, Eli Hinton is now your leader. Only 2 laps on the tires, and most of that is caution flag speed. So Hinton, coming in at the perfect time, is going to take the lead here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I said when it initially came out that actually hurt Hinton, but then, yeah, thinking about it, it's like he just got his pit stop.
He just gotten
right
back up to speed, too, so there's
no
real wear on the tires.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have him in first. Chris Lucky in that 77. What an upgrade for the 77. I mean, you can't possibly call it better than that. Perfect timing by the 77. I don't know if it was him or if it was Richard Lucky, who we called Lucky earlier in the season, pulling off a victory.
Yeah, Chris Lucky. Yep, Chris Lucky. That's 77.
So,
he won at Atlanta.
That's number 2 for him this year.
Yeah, he's putting himself in position, and I think I was saying that on that first green flag stop, is like we have a few drivers, there are certain guys who, they're not the guys who you're going to see up front the whole race, but they're guys that they're going to go out there and they have nothing to lose if they take a risk and they stay out there for 50 laps, hoping for a yellow that's going to throw them into a position, like Chris Lucky's in now, where suddenly he has a shot at a great top 5 finish, if not a win, just by taking that risk. A guy like Hustad, a guy like Anthony Burrows, a guy that is racing up there might not want to take that same risk because they are a guy that can compete and are always up there.
Yeah, but if you're sitting 15th, why not take the risk?
Yeah, take the risk. I mean, the worst that's going to happen is that it doesn't work out and you finish where you've been running all day.
Right.
But if you get lucky, as Chris Lucky has gotten twice this season.
All right, we got to change his last name. I feel like we've said Lucky a little too much here, Martin.
Lucky.
Well, then we got Hinton in first. Chris Lucky sits second. Wade Hustad in the 3rd spot. Thomas Harmon in that 68 car will start on the outside in 4th. And then Logan McAnally, the guy who we've been talking about all night in that 88 car, very, very fast here tonight. He sits in the 5th spot. Caden Honeycutt with a major upgrade as well. He's in 6th. Eric Hutton will restart here 7th. John Theodore gets some spots after all of that pans out, and he's going to start in the 8th position. So it just seems like, I mean, the whole field was shaken up by that there, and now we're going to go back to this. We saw it at the very beginning of the race, guys. It's 3 wide. Sometimes it was 4 wide. And right now, with only 23 to go, there's a whole lot more on the line, and I don't like saying this, but I have a very strange feeling that we're going to have 1, if not 2 or 3 more cautions before the end of this race, as these guys are really, really going to want to make up as many positions as possible on these restarts.
Well, it's a good bet, and that's the saying, cautions breed cautions, because everyone's going to be stacked up again here, because we've gone 75 laps or so with, probably 70 of those laps everyone had basically spread out. We weren't going 3-4 wide anymore. And especially after that green flag stops, the field was pretty spread out for the most part. Now you've got, what is it, probably 20 cars right on top of each other here for a restart. All of them rearing to go. And McAnally is a guy who is moving through the field with, just with speed. He's really good. He started 15th. He moved up to that lead by driving. Lucky and Hinton, they're in those top 2 positions because of their pit strategy. And Hinton's been up there, running a top 10 all day. So we got a couple different styles of drivers up in this top group. Pace car ducks off. And Hinton takes off. Green flag. Hinton with a nice takeoff. Hustad and McAnally are going to get a good run, too, on the inside. Chris Lucky kind of holding up Thomas Harmon.
Wade Hustad down to the inside of the 23 here. Gets around him easily.
Wide.
So Eli Hinton, maybe the 2 laps on the tires causing a little bit of issues with the 23 as he was very slow on that straightaway.
Yeah, and Harry Tiller and Thomas Harmon battling right behind Chris Lucky. Harmon right into Lucky's bumper. So it's getting really tight. Lucky stuck behind Hinton. And this is going to be I think this is going to be a race between Hustad and McAnally, and Honeycutt thrown in there.
And now McAnally, yeah, we talked about him. We've been talking about him all night. Very quickly moves himself from that 5th spot up into 1st. So very
so
quick.
Much speed.
He's not going to have the run that the 32 Hustad has off of the corner, but things starting to shuffle up behind him. Some guys taking the apron. We were pretty much too wide throughout the field.
See Honeycutt eyeing up that. Oh, and there goes Harmon, and that's going to take Springer, Benjamin. Who did that last collect? I think that collected Richard Lucky.
Lots of cars sliding up the track. The yellow flag should be thrown, I would hope, by race control here.
Jim Westerfield. Yeah, there's the yellow flag. A little bit late, but better late than never, because there's quite a few cars caught in that. Tommy Bordeaux, Matt Lovett.
Like I said, things are just getting intense towards the end of this race. The guys know that it's go time. There's some guys that weren't up front at the beginning of this race and haven't been up front for a majority of the night that now find themselves in positions to go out here and get a top 5, a top 10, maybe a win. So,
well, I'm going to look at this. It looks like Thomas Harmon just went out way too far outside, pinching Harry Tiller up towards the wall. Tiller stayed on his line. Harmon coasted up and started that whole thing. Gets away with very little damage, but causes Mike Springer to go sideways.
Yeah, Mike Springer, he hit the brakes to avoid the 68 there.
Yeah. 68 just went into that corner way too high, stayed up right along Tiller, and Tiller wasn't going to go into the wall. He was like, hey, I need to have a lane. John Theodore got into the rear end of Harry Tiller there when they had to slow up a little bit when he made contact with Harmon, but
yeah, Harmon really pushing the 69 up towards that outside wall. The 69 had to start to enter the corner at some point, and that causes him to touch the 68.
Oh, Chris Lucky staying out again. That is a very curious decision.
Well, the 77, only 6 laps on the tires, elects to stay out there and lead this race. I don't know. Again, it's late in the race. Another caution could fly very quickly, as we saw the last time. He's just trying to keep himself in the top 5 at this point, Martin.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a strategy to stay in the top 5 though, because now he's gonna have older tires than everyone around him. He's gonna be the guy, like Hinton. Now Hinton wasn't, just that. Those 2-lap tires for Hinton, you could see was just a little, slowed him just a little bit.
Well, there's a little bit of pit strategy you see from the 55 of Chad Presnall electing to only take 2 tires with a 9.54 second stop. It looks like he's the only driver that came down pit road that elected to do so. So he will be the first one out of the pits. Chad Presnall in that 55 moves himself up into the 2nd position with a 2-tire stop. So.
Oh yeah, this is. I mean, you might as well go 2 tires right now because the wear is not a ton they've only, what, probably 6 laps anyway.
Well, you say you might as well go 2 tires, but Chris Lucky elected to take 0. So,
Yeah, so
what? What's the right decision
I
and
don't
what
know.
isn't? I said
I'll say
it
2
after
tires
the
is better
last.
than no tires.
Yeah, I said it after the last caution. I really think. I think we're going to see another one. It's unfortunate that it's going to end up that way, but I expect to see another caution before the end of this race because everybody is pushing the car absolutely as hard as it will go, and that's what we just saw from the 68 of Harmon. He wanted to get the perfect line entering the corner, and it was without regard to that 69 on the outside of him. 69 had to enter the corner at some point, and unfortunately, he entered it just a millisecond before the 68, and those guys collided, beginning that whole chain reaction that causes Mike Springer's race to be essentially over.
Mike Springer's car is wrecked. He's missing his back end. I didn't think he got that much damage, but I guess I'll go back. I'm going to go back and look at that again because I saw him get hit by Butcher Benjamin, but
Jim Westerfield in the 4 absolutely destroyed, T-boned the side of Mike Springer at the end of that wreck.
Really?
Yep. It was about midway through it. Mike Springer turned sideways, slid up the track, and then the 4 car just plowed right into the passenger side.
I know the 4 got into. Oh yeah, the 4. That's right. The 4. That's who the 4 got into. Oh okay. Yeah, I did see that. For some reason, it didn't register with me that was Mike Springer still. Yeah, and his car when he was going around the track, it's on a weird.
Yeah, it kind of looked like it was super cambered there. Yeah. Camber was all off on that right side, just pointing him towards the inside of the track.
All right, so what do we got out here for the field? So it's going to be Chris Lucky. He's going to be the control car. He's got the oldest tires of this front group. And he's really gambling.
I mean, it's almost a gamble you want to take. Like, pull up driver info here. He started in the 22nd position, Martin. I think when that very first green flag pit cycle came out and he elected to stay out there the latest, he wanted to be that car out there at 42 laps, still running on the original tires. That's when the gamble began. He decided to stay out as late as he did, and I mean, why not? Right now, I think he sat in the 16th, 17th position when all that began, and now he sits in first. I mean, even if he gets a top 10 out of this, he's in a much better position than he was when that first green flag pit cycle came out, and I really can't blame him for staying out here. I think a better decision maybe would have been to come down and take 2 tires and call it good, but I'm not Chris Lucky. He's the one that has to make those tough decisions, him and his pit crew, so...
Yeah, that's what I would... for me, I would do what Chad Presnell did at this point in the race, especially with, 3-4 green flag laps there since your last pit. Just change the right sides because the right sides are the ones that wear more anyway.
Well, Martin, I'm going to let you take us to the green. I'm going to go make a quick drink. I will be right back, following along with these guys up towards the front. Fortunately, I have a wireless headset now, so I can listen to all the race action as things get going here. So, yeah, thank you to all the viewers for tuning in tonight. We greatly appreciate each and every one of you that tunes into the broadcast week in and week out. Thanks for anybody who's participated in the chat out there. I see David Wellborn's posted a lot. Some of the other guys out there have been chiming in from time to time. Jake Helt, very big fan of Joe Helt throughout every broadcast so far this season. But it wouldn't be DRL TV if it wasn't for you guys. Thanks for watching.
All right, they're coming to the line. The pace car dips off. Lucky has to wait until he goes past that commitment cone. He can now go, and he's going to take off right away. Chad Prosnell gets a good jump with him. But Lucky pulling a little bit. Honeycutt's going to make it 3 wide with McAnally and Hustad. That door looks like it's going to close. He makes contact with McAnally on the outside. They are trading paint. Presnell right on the bumper of the 77. McAnally making it 3 wide. Honeycutt dipping to the inside, but Hinton's there. He's going to make contact with Hinton. 3 wide.
Oh, this is intense.
Oh, man.
McAnally saw his... Oh, and the 78 of...
Hutton, but he's going to get off the track. If he can hold out, he's going to go down pit road. No yellow flag. If he can keep it down in there, looks like he's going to be able to lock it up.
Hutton does lock it up, pulls down pit road.
That's
Yeah, I mean,
unfortunate him. He had a really good race today, and
he doesn't get
gets
the yellow
sideways
flag to help hhim out there, but that's going to allow us to see a very good race here towards the end. The 37 of Honeycutt making the McAnally's race flash before his eyes there as he tried to take him on the outside, and I don't know, again...
All 6 of these guys up there have been trying to go, I mean, well, those 5 guys behind Chris Lucky have been making it 3 wide.
Oh, and McAnally and the 32 of Hustad running inches, mere inches from each other's doors.
And Chris Lucky down in front of Hustad. I think he's trying to block up Hustad.
Whoa!
Now he's going to go up and...
Things are getting crazy out here. So close to these guys taking each other out left and right. The 77 gets turned.
And that's going to take out Hustad. 77 stays straight. Hustad down, and Hustad is out of this race.
And now Honeycutt moving.
Wide.
Almost gets up into the 88. Almost gets down into the 77 as he bounces all over the track. Honeycutt with the better tires. And Honeycutt is your new leader. McAnally still holding strong.
Harry Tiller going to make it 4 wide for that. Wow. You got the 23, 55, 69, and the 77 going 4 wide.
All the way through the corner, the 55 of Presnall almost wrecking out Eli Hinton here. That's going to push Hinton towards the outside wall. Harmon slides up.
And it's a drag race now between McAnally and Honeycutt out front. Harry Tiller gets turned by Chad Presnall. He's into the grass.
And now Presnall's going to wreck.
Track. He takes him out. There's the big one. The yellow flag out.
And that is the big one of the race. That is going to take out approximately half of the field. You saw John Theodore get collected. The 82 of Chris James gets collected.
All right,
wow.
Really close here. Yeah, that was... Presnall just got a little bit of the left end of Harry Tiller. Turns him down into the grass. Tiller just can't lock it. There's no way Tiller can lock it down. He's got the brakes locked, but...
I mean, these guys are just pushing the car as hard as the car will run.
That takes out Chris Lucky and Richard Lucky, so Lucky, his luck ran out.
Let's go back and watch that one more time. If we can see it from the car that's in the rear here. I mean, the action is all over the place. The 4 wide in the middle of the corner. Chris Lucky stuck down low. They make it 3 wide as they come through the corner. Everybody bouncing left and right, and then Chad Presnall touches that 69 here of Harry Tiller, and that's where things really get hairy. As he slides right back up the track, Tiller looks like Tiller didn't lock it down. He went down into that grass and he tried to regain the car.
Yeah,
he really should have locked down the tires and not slid back up on the track like that. I mean. There's no telling if that's what's going to cause the whole thing anyway, as you saw the 55 of Chad Presnall lose it as well. But that's tough.
Yeah, he's catching a lot of flack from people, and honestly, in a perfect world, he would just turn the wheel left and just go into the grass and concede the race.
Frankly, that's where Presnall was headed as well. He was headed down into the grass, so that would have saved 4 or 5 cars. That would not have brought out a caution flag, and these guys would have been able to continue to race. So
I'm watching his wheel. As soon as he gets turned, he turns the wheel. Let's go back and watch it. Turns the wheel. Immediately turns it hard to the right. That's what you got to do when you're getting turned. You gotta correct it. He corrects it, actually hits the grass. The problem is now he's in the grass and sliding right off the track. Actually, Chad Presnall hits him. Presnall's down and hits him in the apron there.
Yeah, I don't know. He turned the car to the right to try to regain it a little bit, and then
he did regain it.
Well, he gained traction as well, which is going to turn him back up into the track. So,
but here's the issue: people are blaming Tiller for this. Presnall's the one that comes down into him. Presnall goes down below the white line because he's still reacting from that whole the initial contact with Tiller turning him. So
let's go back and ride on board here with Harry Tiller. We're riding from Harry Tiller's cockpit view. He knows there's a car to the inside of him. He's now around that car, so he's trying to stay down here. All of a sudden, the car is going to snap to the left. As these guys enter this next corner, you'll see the car snap to the left, and Harry Tiller's headed down into the grass. He'll pull the wheel back to the right. He does, successfully. He does regain it. He slowly gets back up on the track, and you're right. Yeah, Chad Presnall comes down right in front of his car. So I think Harry Tiller had it regained there, and it was just a chain reaction.
You could argue And you could argue that Tiller at that angle was going to come back on the track and hit somebody, might have hit the, and he did end up hitting Lucky.
Maybe he would have hit the last guy, but
yeah. But it's so fast there that it's not like I don't think Tiller. I've seen this happen where guys have gone off the track and they'll come back on the track because they're just trying to stay in it. Tiller was just trying to get that car under anything to keep it.
But I think he would have been fine.
He definitely would not wanted that.
Yeah, he would have straightened it out on the apron, or at least it looked that way. So
he was trying to get control, and whatever that control is, he didn't. Yeah, there's no. That's your first reaction. You're going. You're turning left. You turn your wheel hard to the right. That's the snap reaction. And he wasn't thinking like, oh, I got turned. I'm gonna wreck everyone now. That's not what he was thinking, and you know.
That was just as much. That was
not.
just as much, if not more, Presnell's fault. I feel as it was Tiller's. As Presnell's the one that initially hit him in the rear, which I get it. You know, they're all pushing for a win here.
Yeah, if you're gonna. But then, I mean, when race control goes through and does all the things, I think Presnell is going to be the one that gets the penalty point for turning him. But I'm not. In Presnell, that was nothing. It wasn't an intentional turn either. It was just hard racing. They're right up on top of each other. That's what this new package is encouraging. And I think we're going to see a lot more big wrecks in NASCAR and in our Cup Series at these bigger tracks.
So we got a couple guys.
Talladega.
We got a couple guys asking if Harmon and Lucky took two or stayed out.
I couldn't tell you, but let me take a look. I'll jump back.
No, we got Eli Hinton stayed out in the 23 car in the first spot. He's got 9 laps on the tire. Chris James in the 82, who sits second there on the outside, he has 9 laps on the tire. Harmon,
so they all stayed out.
Harmon and Lucky, okay, that's who he's asking about. 3rd and 4th. How did they come out ahead of Honeycutt and McAnally? They had to have taken 2 tires.
And they were caught in that wreck. I mean, Chris James was caught in the wreck. He smashed right into that. I think he piled into the back of John Theodore, who had gotten collected by Chris Lucky. And
I don't know. This is almost asking for another accident at this restart, but 7 laps to go. These guys are taking every chance they need to try to get a good finish here. Chris James in there.
Richard Lucky was part of that wreck. I mean, you got guys that were really banged up in that wreck. They are in front of McAnally and Honeycutt. So this is gonna. This race we're far from over. We only have what now?
We're gonna have 7 laps to go.
13 drivers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 drivers in this pack. 15 on the lead lap, by last count at least.
Yeah, we got 15 drivers on the lead lap.
So there'll be 16 guys out there. Dustin Musial is down 4 laps, so he is out of it. Everyone else in
this is dangerous, I feel, with the 82 up there out front. Heavy damage to the front end and the rear end of the car.
Yeah, Richard Lucky doesn't look too bad considering he got turned and was involved in that whole.
I think Eli Hinton getting the opportunity to start this race from the first position, and the fact that the 82 has damage and will possibly hold up that outside line stands a very good chase of a quick caution coming out and winning the race.
And Hinton waits until the green flag to jump. You can see Honeycutt was trying to figure out where to go, and yeah, he slows him. Chris James slows everyone down.
Already splitting 3 wide. McAnally kind of gets the short end of the stick there, but he's able to get down to the inside. He has Joe Helt in the 0-2 just to the inside of him.
Yeah, Joe Helt back into this thing. And, ooh, Honeycutt and Harmon. Honeycutt almost turned Harmon there. McAnally now going to the inside, along with Hunter Johnson behind him.
And there's McAnally down to the inside line.
Speed.
He's been quick all night, and he's back to the lead.
Honeycutt's into the wall. They're going to... And they keep it up there. They're going to fall to the back.
That's it. We're still green flag racing, boys. 94 out of 100. We click over to 95, so 5 laps to go. McAnally taking a very high line. Thomas Harmon riding right behind him. Eli Hinton in that 23 has 10 laps, 12 laps on the tires at this point. So good chance he gets passed by a couple other drivers, but the guys who were historically fast all night are not towards the front of this pack.
Chris Pope, a very bad move there. He tried to cut down, but Hustad was already there. He's going to go into the inside wall. That's it for his race. Richard Lucky all over the track.
And now somebody, wrecking right in front of Wade Hustad again. So Hustad kind of getting the short end of the stick with 2 drivers there making a mistake right in front of him.
Yeah, 44, Richard Lucky not happy because the 44 kind of gave him a bump going into the turn, kind of came up into him, and that sent him into the wall and spiraling down the back stretch. A lot of people getting their feelings hurt right now.
Well, back up front, Joseph Helt trying to make a move on that 78 of Eric Hutton.
Yeah, Eric Hutton right back in there. I'm happy for him. He had spun down into the apron and didn't get a yellow flag and had basically been out of it. He's now back looking at a top 5 finish. And it's a battle between Harmon and McAnally with 4 to go. And McAnally is just pushing him up into the wall, saying, no, you're going to have to... I'm not going to let you take it easy. Guys are trading paint here now. No give and take at this point.
We saw that earlier, Martin, where the 68 is the one that had the position on the inside, and he caused that wreck to come out with the 69 of Harry Tiller by pushing him too far up the wall. So
that's exactly what McAnally was doing. He was just, Harmon just was running out of room. It looked like I thought Harmon was going to hit the wall, and that was going to take both of them out. But
well, able to keep his composure. The 0-2 of Joseph Helt trying his hardest to get around the 78 here of Hutton. He's got the 38 trying to push him from the back.
Yeah, Mike Lemon, non-points driver, looking for a 6th place finish.
I don't know, the 23 here of Eli Hinton, again, 15 laps on the tires, 7 laps older than everybody else. Might start to hold up the 78 on that inside line and allow Joseph Helt to advance himself not 1 but 2 positions. But now he pulls up in front of Helt, and Helt could easily turn the 23 here.
Yeah, there's so many close things. Oh, and the 78 and the 0-2 make contact also, but 78's able to keep it under control.
Well, Helt comes around Hutton finally. Looked like Hutton just wanted to get out from around the 23 there, unable to do so, but now he's going to have the inside line. Back up to the front. Logan McAnally, I think, is going to end up getting this race, barring a major mistake, but Thomas Harmon's still right on his heels.
Right there, though. Yeah, I did not think this was going to be a race between McAnally and Thomas Harmon, but that's what we're left with. On that last restart, I thought it was going to be McAnally and Honeycutt. We thought it was going to be McAnally and Hustad.
I think the constant here
common
is...
denominator.
Yeah, I'll tell you. He's been up there all night. He's found his way towards the front, and he collects the white flag.
Well, just every time he goes into that turn 1, he was on the outside. He just slips, goes past 2 wide.
He made it 3 wide down to the inside.
He goes from the top to the bottom on that,
and past multiple people at once. So
yeah, it doesn't hit anyone. Doesn't cut anyone off. Doesn't do anything. He just finds that lane and goes. So Logan McAnally,
that 88 nationwide scheme.
Gonna get his first Dynasty Racing League win.
Hey, listen. I think he's feeling. I think he's feeling maybe even a little better than Earnhardt Jr. here tonight, as he comes away with the victory at Auto Club. Awesome, awesome race by the 88. The 68 of Thomas Harmon's going to finish 2nd. Eli Hinton gets 3rd. Joseph Helt 4th.
Yeah.
Eric Hutton will get that 5th place finish. Yeah, so
I'm happy Hutton was able to get back into it. I mean, a few of these guys had some bad luck. Hustad had some bad luck. He went into the apron, got bumped out.
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, the 32 of Wade Hustad, just horrible, horrible things happened in front of him there.
Yeah, he still was able to get back into 7th. I thought for sure he was done, and he's back there in 7th.
Well, Chris Pope, the guy who pulled down in front of him, he finishes in the 15th spot, falls all the way back to 15th. Hustad able to regain composure, have another accident, or close to accident happen right in front of him, and he still gets the 7th place win. I
wasn't even thinking of Chris Pope pulling in front of Hustad there later, because there was that one where Hustad and Chris Lucky got into each other, and Hustad went into the apron and kind of came over the radio saying, hey, where's the yellow? Where's the yellow? But if you get down in the apron and don't take any other cars with you, and it's not a big wreck, the yellow's not going to fly. And that's what happened to Hutton. That's what happened to Hustad. Both those guys able to salvage their race after that big one.
Wow.
That was exciting. I mean, the whole race was exciting, and that last 25 laps.
I'll tell you, I said 2, maybe 3 more cautions. What did we get? 2, 3 more cautions. I mean, come on. Yeah. Well, you see the 19th hole victory lane there. That is the 88 of Logan McAnally. We're going to go down and just grab the winner right now and get a quick interview with him and see how he's feeling after that race. I'm sure he is pumped. Logan McAnally, do you have a copy, sir?
Yes, sir.
You were clearly the fastest car on the track all night. It got really, really tough with the pit strategy. You got put in there with a bunch of lions looking for a victory. How'd you pull it out, man?
Oh, I just kept my composure, and on that second pit sequence we had there, I was trying not to get too far off sequence, and then we had that caution, and it just messed me all up. So I was in the right place at the right time at the end there.
Well, you started in the 15th position. I mean, you moved yourself into first before that first green flag pit stop, and then you elected to stay out for about 42 laps before you came down to pit. Thought that might have been a mistake. You gained it back after about 30 laps or so, and then you elected to pit right after Hustad, and you made a minor mistake on pit road. Did you think your race might be over at that point? Maybe gave up the win?
Yeah, I thought I had a little bit of a disadvantage after that one, but man, it feels good.
Hey, first win with the Dynasty Racing League. I know there's some tough competition out there. You made it look good tonight, man. You got any shout-outs for anybody before we let you go?
I guess Nationwide for being on the car.
That's it? All you got is Nationwide? You don't want to thank Mom, Dad?
Thank the whole family. Thank my buddy Austin. Thank everybody.
And then just again for pronunciation purposes, is it McAnally? Is that the correct way to say it?
It's McAnally.
McAnally.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, McAnally. We know that now.
I knew people had trouble saying that. So.
Well, it's yeah. There's probably like 17 different ways you could pronounce it. I was calling you McAnally at the beginning of the night, so McAnally. I got it.
Yes, sir.
Well, we'll pronounce it correct from now on, man. Congrats on the win. Go out and get them again next week.
Thank you.
All right, buddy. Have a good night.
Good dude. You too.
Oh man, what a race from that. He was fun to watch tonight, man. I don't care what anybody says. That was a pleasure to watch. He was quick, and that move making it 3 wide and getting down to the inside, that was really fun to watch. So we're gonna grab our second place finisher, Thomas Harmon, in that 68 car. See how he's feeling after that one. I'm sure he probably didn't expect to finish like that after those first couple green flag runs. Thomas Harmon, you got a copy?
Yeah, 10-4, I got you.
Hey, after those first 50, 60 laps, did you expect to come away with second here tonight, buddy?
Not with the way that the tire strategy was playing out. I was thinking maybe third, fourth, top 5 maybe. But what was really in question was after me and the 69 got together and put me back a little bit.
Yeah, you pushed him up towards that wall quite a ways. I think he started to enter the corner when, in my opinion, from what we saw, he started his entrance at the last possible second. He had to start entering the corner at some point, and you were kind of just there. We saw McAnally do it to you there at the end. He did the same exact thing to you, and you were able to stay out of him. What was it like just being pushed up into that wall like that and not really feeling like you had a whole lot of room?
Oh, it was tight. But I knew getting turned into wasn't fun, and I didn't want to do that to him. So I just figured I'd eat it and try to get him on the back end of the run, coming to the line maybe. But the 2 tires just didn't work out. Yeah, I ran the 69 high because of the pass that we have, but I wasn't going to try to wreck him or anything. But
yeah, we thought
not a big deal. I wasn't mad about it.
We thought there was 2 of you that stayed out there on 2 tires, but you guys, the tires weren't that old at that point. Did you take lefts or rights, and did you see what the other tires were at when you made that pit stop?
The left front was at 98, and the left rear was at 99 when I took the 2. I took 2 rights, obviously. And I knew that'd free the car up a little bit and would allow me to get a nice drive off the car, or off the corner rather. But I just had nothing for Logan.
Well, it paid off. I think you restarted 3rd or 4th there. I know you were in the 2nd row, but you come away with the 2nd place finish. You've done very well so far this year. How are you feeling about next week?
Martinsville should be fun. going to be close quarters, and we get our 750 horsepower back, thankfully. Allow us to do something with the car other than get arrow tied off a corner.
Hey, I know I wasn't out there driving tonight, but it looked like a lot of fun, man, especially after the restarts. Everyone was able to keep it clean and really, really just drive the car and not have to worry about the track screwing them over, per se. So I don't know how it felt as a driver, actually out there running with them, but it was really, really fun to watch.
It was, at the time, it was really nerve-wracking, but as soon as it started to settle down, we were talking about it in Discord. It was quite fun, and on the start, I decided to push my luck a little bit and got farther than what I thought I would. But yeah, it was pretty fun, nerve-wracking, that's for sure. And as much as I hope that other tracks are like this, I really don't.
Well, go out and get them next week at Martinsville. Let's hear any shout-outs you have before I let you go tonight.
Shout out to S2R working with me this week and every week, and being able to bounce ideas off Wade, Joe, and Ryan in particular was very effective. You guys up in the booth, DRL, the admins as a whole, like all the competitors out there that allow us to help put on this kind of show and gives the fans something to cheer for and something to be excited about. Apple for being on the side of the car. Spotter Dimitri, can't forget him. I'm bound determined not to forget him again.
Well, listen, you're remembering everybody as of late, man. Last few interviews, you definitely caught everyone, that's for sure.
Thankfully, getting back in the vibe of it, but I think that's all I got for now.
Well, congrats again on second, man. We'll see you next week at Martinsville. Have a great night.
Thank you. You too.
And that was Thomas Harmon, your second place finisher in that number 68 car. Eli Hinton in the 23 is your third place finisher. See if we can grab him. Eli Hinton, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, third place finish, man. You made a few gambles. How's it feel to come away with third there?
I'll take it, especially after it was only me and I can't remember who else stayed out, but it was only two of us. I was pretty scared there. We had like 5 laps on the tires, I think. I thought I was going to go straight to the back, but somehow held third. I'll take it.
Definitely a good victory. The odds weren't great, but I almost felt like it was a gamble worth taking at that point. Depending on where you were before that all began. You started 10th tonight. You come away with a third place, doing well in the point standings. How you feeling about Martinsville next week?
Oh, that's one of my favorite tracks. Hopefully I can get a win there. I should definitely get a top 5, hopefully.
Well, buddy, go out and get some practice. I can't wait to watch you run again next week. Do you have any shout-outs for anybody here tonight?
Shout out to Eric Hutton. We were working together tonight. I know he didn't get as good of a finish as he wanted, but it's fun racing.
Hey, you can't complain about a top 5, man. That's what he got, 5th place. So, congrats to both of you guys. We'll see you next week in Martinsville.
Yep. Thank you, guys. Thanks for the broadcast.
Yes, sir. Have a good one. That was Eli hitting your third place finisher. I would like to grab, still around, the 02 here of Joseph Helt. Martin, you got any questions for Mr. Helt here? I mean, what a finish. The guy started 23rd. He comes away with the 4th place. I'm gonna let you do this one, man.
Oh, you're gonna let me do this one?
Oh yeah. He says, "Oh no."
Oh, well, I can't remember even Joseph Helt. I mean, he was all over the place.
Yeah, he too.
I got a question.
Okay.
Yeah, I got some questions. I can think.
Mr. Helt, you have a copy, sir.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Very, very well. I think we're gonna, typically I run these interviews. We're gonna experiment and let Martin ask you a few questions. He finished in 4th. What do you mean? Where did he finish?
4th place.
23rd place starting position. He comes away with a 4th. I mean, how can you be mad about that?
I want to get the finish position right. All right, so I finished 4th place. The one question I have is about. Was it the first? I can't remember if it was the first green flag stop or the second one. You came down, and it looked like.
I remember this.
I remember you called it over the radio that you were going to come down, and then it looked like you misjudged your speed or something, and almost got into Thomas Harmon, and then you just coasted through the grass. What was the plan there? Were you?
Well, the plan was to pit, and I wanted to close down the distance between Thomas and myself, and it was either put it through his back bumper or go through the grass. And I didn't do any practice at green flag pit stops, and it showed, and just ended up sliding through the grass.
Well, Joe, I know you got a fan out there in Jake Helt. He'll probably be happy to hear his name on stream, but who is that? And he's quite the fan you have.
Yeah, he's my brother. He's a DRL fan and likes to watch your guys' broadcast and likes the work that you guys put out.
He was cheering you on all night. Honestly, no offense to yourself, we ran down. At about lap 60, I was running down the guys that I was surprised were at the back. Like, we're not the back, but midfield or past, 10th, 12th, or beyond. Yourself, Caden Honeycutt, Chad Presnall. We just had so many drivers that we're used to seeing in the top 5, top 10, and none of you were anywhere to be seen. To come back and get that 4th place finish was incredible, man.
Yeah, needed it to get ugly there at the end, and it did. And I did come up there in a Hunter, and I feel bad about that. But sometimes that happens. Didn't run any of the official stuff over the week, so first time in the new package, and just trying to learn it.
Well, buddy, go out and run some official stuff this week, and come show us what you got at Martinsville. I can't wait for that one.
We'll see what we can bring there.
Got any shout-outs tonight?
No. Well, S2R. I mean, another good day for the team. Thomas bringing it home second, very strong. I know Wade had some bad luck there, but he had a great race also. So a lot of fun racing with those guys, and thanks to you guys for putting on the broadcast. And I know it got ugly there at the end, but overall, a pretty fun race.
Well, it wasn't ugly. It was fun to watch, and we expected it. So thanks for coming out, man. We'll see you next week at Martinsville.
Hey, thanks, guys. I'll see you next week.
All right. Well, last but not least, we're going to grab Eric Hutton in that 78, that beautiful Chick-fil-A car. We got to ask him who made that. I don't think we've had an interview with Mr. Hutton yet, so let's
think so, yeah.
Get him in here. Eric Hutton, do you have a copy, sir?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, I don't know if we've interviewed you yet. You come away with the 5th place tonight. Things got real hectic at the end of the race. How you feeling about a 5th place?
Yeah, we had a good run there. Decent pit strategy. Stayed up front most of the race. During those restarts at the end, I got spun by the 48, but managed to recover and passed a lot of people somehow and ended up 5th. So pretty happy with the overall result.
Yeah, you can't be too upset with things going 3 and 4 wide and cars bouncing all over the place and nobody knowing when each other was braking. The 5th place is definitely respectable in that situation. First time interviewing you. We've been talking about your paint scheme all season. Who made that? Did you make that yourself?
I did not make that. I gotta give credit to Jeremiah Vincent. He's a buddy of mine, makes the paints, and I'm pretty happy the way it turned.
I'll tell you what, I don't know what you call, it's not, I don't know, you can't even call it sparkles. It's almost like a crimson look, like a dark red and the light red. It looks really, really good on the car, man.
I appreciate it. We call it the bass boat flake.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. I like it, buddy. Well, first interview. Hopefully we can interview you a few more times this season, maybe once down there in Victory Lane. But how are you feeling about Martinsville next week?
Yeah, Martinsville seems pretty hit or miss for me, but hopefully it'll be a hit next.
I hope so too, man. I think everybody's going to do very well. We'll be back in the old package, not the package that we were in tonight. Everyone will be somewhat comfortable, and it's definitely an interesting track to run. So, do you have any shout-outs for anyone that you'd like to give this evening?
I just want to thank everybody racing fairly decent. Thank the administrators doing what they do, and hopefully we'll be the same.
I think you cut off there at the end.
I was saying, hopefully we have a clean race next week.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you again, and have a wonderful night. We'll see you next week in Martinsville.
I will see.
All right. That was Eric Hutton, your 5th place finisher for tonight. So, very cool race, Martin. I enjoyed the crap out of that one. It was fun.
Yeah, it's been fun all week. I mean, there's mixed reactions to this new package. Even within our league, we got some mixed reactions.
I think it created an awesome race, man. I don't know about
it's
you.
like if that's how the racing is going to be with this package, I think it's.
Now watch, we just got lucky. The rest of the racing throughout the season will be horrible, but.
Yeah, I mean and even the first part of the race, it was a little. It obviously was not as exciting as the last 25, but the first part you had 3 wide and you had people moving and shaking, and and I don't know how much of that is. I mean, obviously we haven't raced a track like this yet, where it's these 1.5 and 2 miler ones, where you get, there can be some big movement. I think at Michigan and Chicagoland you get a lot of that
dude,
already.
I can't.
You already
wait
get
to
a lot
see
of
Michigan.
You already get a lot of movement, and now what they've done is now you've got this. The movement isn't just between one car.
It's between everybody
and going back and forth. It's 3 or 4 guys all on top of each other, and then you could be in 10th place, and suddenly you're battling for 5th.
Well, how wide is Michigan? If there's any cars that'll able to stick that inside line around Michigan, that's going to be 3 and 4 wide racing the whole way around. I don't know what it's like yet. It could be horrible, but it could. We
saw it tonight though. But we saw it tonight on those last runs, 4 wide. And it wasn't 4 wide like someone was forcing it. It was 4 wide, and they were just racing. Just going down the stretch, and it was just like, ay.
It was awesome.
Who's going to make the mistake first? Who's going to move the wrong place and not realize there's 3 guys on his inside or whatever?
It was very, very good. I'm going to run through these official results real quick for everybody. Logan McAnally, now that we know how to pronounce it, Logan McAnally finishes in the first position. 31 laps led. I believe that leads
yes, I think that was
the race. I think that's the most laps led tonight, so a lot of bonus points for him. The 68 of Thomas Harmon finishes in second. Eli Hinton comes away with 3rd place. 4th goes to Joseph Helt. 5th, Eric Hutton in that 78 car. Mike Lemon, a non-points driver, comes away with the 6th place finish. The 32 of Wade Hustad, last year's champion, he finishes in the 7th spot. 8th goes to Alexander Russell in the 44. 9th, Taylor Butcher Benjamin. 10th goes to Hunter Johnson after a late race incident. And you have Caden Honeycutt in that 37 car. Looked like he had a chance at victory there in the closing laps. Finishes in 11th. 12th, Richard Lucky. 13th goes to Chris James in the 82. 14th to Jim Westerfield. 15th, Christopher Pope. 16th goes to Dustin Musial in the number 22. The 13 of Sean Hughes gets 17th. 18th, Chris Lucky, 11 laps down. John Theodore is going to finish in the 19th position. 20th goes to Harry Tiller. 21st to Chad Presnell in the 55. Tommy Bourdon finishes 22nd. 23rd, Mike Springer. 24th, Matt Lovett. 25th, you have Kevin Varnador. And the 26th is John Mullins, who I don't think actually ended up turning a lap here tonight. So 25 drivers run the race. Quite a few of them on the lead lap.
8 different leaders during the race. I mean, you look at Chris Lucky. Chris Lucky, he was out there. He led 14 laps. I didn't even think he led that many laps.
Oh yeah, that 77 on those old tires for so long did very, very well tonight. It's unfortunate it ended up the way it did for him, but
Honeycutt and Westerfield only getting 1 lap apiece.
Able to lead a lap though,
but only got 1 lap.
Yeah. Bonus for them.
Yep, you get that bonus point. Hutton had those 2 laps led, so he got a bonus point.
Well, the next race of this series, guys, is going to be the Paperclip 250 at Martinsville Speedway. It's going to be a very fun race to watch next week. I can't wait to watch. Can't wait to watch these guys race around that track. 250 laps around the half-mile Martinsville Speedway. It's the Monster Mile, Martin. It's going to be a good time. The next broadcast, will be the Auto Club Speedway once again, right back here in Fontana, California, tomorrow night. For that Grand National Series in the Dynasty Racing League. That'll be 88 laps turned in those B cars on iRacing, so that should be another good one. I know the B cars, I think they push a little harder than the A cars do, maybe a little bit less grip.
Yeah, it's going to be much more of a staying off that wall kind of race. You're not going to see. I don't think it's going to be as much 4 wide as you saw here.
Yeah, there will be no 4 wide action.
It's going to be more of a it's going to be more keeping that car off the wall and how many guys are going to hit that wall and take out 2 or 3 guys as they bounce off it. So
see how that one pans out tomorrow night. But me and Martin will be back here next Monday night at 9:30 for that awesome race at Martinsville. And I'm going to run through the credits here. James Pandolf, the owner of the league, Martin yourself, Jordan Gonzalez, all the guys that do the graphics. Thank you so much. And then all of our broadcasters, Wellborn, Buckner, Derek Pemberton, Weatherholtz, David Lindahl, new member that joined the broadcast. All the guys that do the race control throughout the week, so Robbie Armstrong, Dakota Wilkins, Hesgar, Jeremy Hebel, Richard Springer, Weatherholtz, just everybody involved with the Dynasty Racing League in general, all the admins for making their league go round week in and week out. You know, sometimes tempers fly. It's almost like a babysitting job now and then, but it's everybody just, you just deal with it. You move on from week to week. You try to make the league better and That's what you as viewers provide. Thank you guys for watching us and making the YouTube channel grow and tuning in to actually, root on your favorite driver week in and week out. We thank you so much. Everybody have a wonderful night, and we will see you next week.